Novak Djokovic is the #1 men's singles tennis player in the world right now. The Serbian-born prodigy has a spectacular 20 Grand Slam titles, tying with the likes of Roger Federer and right behind Rafael Nadal. Along with that, he has a record 37 ATP Masters titles and 86 ATP singles titles. All of that glory has earned him quite the cash, with the superstar's worth hovering about an enormous $220 million. So let's talk about how Novak Djokovic spends his millions. First, we'll look into his houses. Over the years, the 20-time Grand Slam champion has built for himself quite the real estate portfolio, with penthouses in Soho, New York, all the way to the Serbian capital of Belgrade, as well as a hillside mansion in Monte Carlo. Let's start off with a beachfront condo, which he bought in Miami. He got the condo back in 2017 and finalized the deal for the 18-story tower in 2019 for about $5.7 million. Funny thing is that he barely spent a month owning the property before putting it back on the market at a whopping $7.15 million, according to reports by Wall Street Journal. The 3-bedroom condo was designed by the Pritzker Prize-winning architect Renzo Piano and had a gigantic wraparound terrace outlining the structure of the building while offering a direct view of the pristine beaches of Miami. The property sold for about $6 million in 2020, with the agent reporting that the #1 tennis player never even lived in it. Wow! Then the 565 Broome Soho. Djokovic made another addition to his housing portfolio back in 2017 when he bought 2 separate 2-bedroom apartments at 565 Broome Soho. The apartments are located on the top floor of the 30-story complex, with each spanning about 185 square meters, as reported by the WSJ. Designed by Renzo Piano, these apartments reportedly set the tennis star back by over $10 million. The two weren't next to each other and couldn't be combined, but the development itself packs quite the perks. It might not feature a tennis court for the Serb, but it did come with a fitness center, a yoga studio, an indoor heated lap pool paired with a steam room and a sauna. All this combined with the 24-hour concierge service, automated parking, and a library really makes it the perfect place for almost anyone. Up next, the penthouse in Belgrade. Now let's talk a little bit about his house back home in Serbia. Djokovic bought a giant 3-bedroom penthouse that comes with a pool and a terrace in Belgrade back in 2018. The penthouse is home to his parents and set the star back by about 545,000 euros. Besides that, local media also reports that the Serbian native has built a sprawling villa on a private lake in the north of the country. And the Monte Carlo. Monaco. A heaven for the rich and famous. A place that's been home to some of the biggest celebrities and athletes, including the #1 star Novak Djokovic. What's surprising is that the Serb had made the province his home base for 15 years, and still not much is known about it. All we know is that he owned a hillside mansion that offered sweeping views of the Mediterranean. He moved to the province from Belgrade back in 2005, stating that his rising popularity in his home began to overwhelm him, and now settling in Marbella. Now the star tennis player is looking to settle down in Marbella in southern Spain's Costa del Sol. According to reports from the Spanish media, the Serb and his wife Jelena chose a 9-bedroom villa in the region as their vacation spot during lockdown for about 10 million euros, and it seems like the perfect place to settle down. And we're glad to see that the Djokovic family thought so too. The property in Marbella offers spectacular views of both the mountains and the ocean, and boasts an impressive tennis court, a swimming pool, a cinema room, a guest house, a game room, a gym, and an on-site spa and sauna. Both of them even shared a few glimpses on social media of their new residence during the lockdown, where they were seen playing tennis, doing yoga, dancing, and just having a great time together. What more could one want? Next, we look at his luxury cars. The superstar tennis player has a bunch of automobile sponsorships lined up for him. He endorses brands like Audi and Mercedes, and even became a brand ambassador for the French automobile company Peugeot, and that certainly comes with a lot of perks. It wouldn't be an understatement to say that the Serb literally has a fleet at his disposal. He owns a Peugeot RCZ and a limited edition E208. The latter boasts an amazing 134 bhp electric motor that can take you from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a measly 7.5 seconds. He got these two as a gift from the company back in 2020. But that's not the only wheels he owns. Pursuing his love for electric cars, it's no wonder that Djokovic also owns the signature eco-friendly ride, a Tesla Model X. Aside from that, it's been reported that he owns a Fiat 500, a Mercedes-Benz S500, an Audi Audi R8, and a BMW M55D. On top of that, the tennis star has his $200,000 Aston Martin DB9, which is definitely one of his favorites, and for good reason. The DB9 certainly doesn't mess around when it comes to speed and packs an impressive 540 bhp thanks to its 6.0-liter V12 engine, rocketing it from 0 to 60 in just 4.6 seconds. With this much power, the car would easily leave Djokovic's E208 trailing, but even that doesn't truly compete with the class and elegance of the ace up his sleeve, a $230,000 top-of-the-line luxury cruiser, the Bentley GT, a go-to for a lot of celebs. The British car is just another addition to the Serb's already extravagant fleet, with him opting for the coupe version of the vehicle. And now, Djokovic's businesses. The Serb has dabbled in some business ventures as well, with the launch of his nutritional food line by the name of Djoko Life in 2015, which focuses on giving athletes high-quality insights on both nutrition as well as lifestyle. Novak has even written a book in 2013 called Serve to Win that focused on a diet plan that he claims saved his life. The tennis star even owns various restaurants back home in Serbia, notably the Novak bistros and cafe chains. But food and nutrition isn't the only place where his money goes. Novak also has an 80% stake in the biotech firm by the name of Quant Biores. The Danish firm is reportedly working on a cure for COVID-19 that doesn't involve vaccines, and they certainly have Djokovic's support behind them. Up next, sponsorships. It's no surprise that the #1 men's singles tennis player also has a huge line of giant sponsors after him, his biggest one being the French clothing brand Lacoste. The Serb has been with the brand since 2017, even agreeing to an extension in his contract, signing on to endorse them till 2025. While Lacoste takes care of what he wears on the court, the 20-time Grand Slam winner also has a footwear deal with the Japanese sports brand ASICS, famous for making some of the best running shoes on the market. Not only that, but he's sponsored by a bunch of other companies like the tennis racket manufacturing brand Head, as well as NetJets, and not to mention the automobile giant Peugeot. He also had sponsorships with the likes of Seiko Watch Corporation, and in 2021 signed a contract with the Swiss luxury brand Hublot. The tennis star also endorses the Serbian telecommunications company Telekom Serbia for nutrition and supplementation. He's partnered with the German nutritional supplementation brand Fitline and serves as the ambassador for Ultimate Software as well. According to Forbes, Djokovic made about $34.5 million in 2021, putting him at 46th on the list of the highest-paid athletes in the world. With this many sponsorships to his name on top of his brilliant performances on the court, it really does make sense why Djokovic became so rich. And then the philanthropy. Novak was one of the first athletes who stepped up to help people with donations back in 2020 when the world was going through the COVID-19 pandemic. He's donated about $5 million to the Serbian public health system, charities run by the country's Orthodox churches, as well as other families and people who were in a financially precarious situation. On top of that, he even donated to the humanitarian aid fund that was set up by his fellow tennis rival and 21-time Grand Slam winner Rafael Nadal for the Spanish Red Cross, which had a target of raising around $12.13 million for the fight against COVID. The Serb gave away his 2014 Italian Open earnings, which were around $750,000 for flood relief efforts at the time in Serbia. And we can't forget the efforts that he's made for children over the years with the Novak Djokovic Foundation. The organization was founded back in 2007 to help children from disadvantaged communities get the education they need. With most of their work in Serbia, they give out grants that aim to help facilitate the children of the country. So far, the foundation has been successful in building and/or repurposing about 50 schools and has helped almost 49,000 children get the education they need. The foundation even pledged to donate about $1 million in COVID relief funds for ventilators and other medical equipment to support the doctors and the hospitals in the country. That's a wrap for this video. See you in the next one.